Greetings, I'm LaShondra Little, Vice President of the South Metro Democratic Women's Council. The purpose of our organization is to create awareness and facilitate support for various social issues and programs that are a concern to women in the South Metro surrounding areas. The South Metro Democratic Women's Council is extending an invitation to all eligible candidates to be interviewed from each city within the South Metro region for the upcoming municipal elections. We'll be hosting a series of candidate conversations that will be posted to our website and our social media pages. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing you to candidate Samantha Hudson, who is in the City of Fairburn running for the position of mayor. How are you today?
Hi, I'm excited. I am excited.
Okay. Well, to get us started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Of course, you introduced me. My name is Samantha Hudson. I'm a native of Chicago, Illinois, born and raised there. And I'm an implant in Georgia now 15 years, but 13 of those years here in Fairburn. Mom of 4, grandmother of 5, social worker, educator, advocate, community advocate, that's me. Fairburn has given me so much, a place for my family to call home, a place to facilitate long growth in my life, and a community that I can be proud of. And so this is my humble beginning here in Fairburn, but it began also with my advocacy at Creekside High School. I noticed early on that our school systems here in Fairburn needed some advocacy. And so I launched that at Creekside as a PTA president and helped those 4 years to turn Creekside High School around.
Okay, well, that is amazing. Well, in that same vein, you talked about what you did at Creekside. I guess so tell us a little bit about, okay, we know what you're running for. Tell us about your platform and then why you're choosing to run for mayor.
My platform is people focused. One of the things that I identified is that the people, taxpayers, have not been given a voice. I've identified a lot of overdevelopment in our community, but I wasn't able to track or trace where taxpayers have had a voice. Since March 5th, I've been canvassing, and today we looked at our data and we have knocked on over 4,000 doors so far to get the message out and also to listen and hear what Fairburn taxpayers are saying. So the consensus is that they have not been heard and they want a seat at the table. They are concerned about the overdevelopment in our community. They are concerned about the poor infrastructure. They're concerned about the day-to-day things that most cities take care of, but where taxpayers live and breathe every day in Fairburn, they have not. We have overdevelopment of warehousing. We have overdevelopment of homes being built, no investment in the infrastructure where taxpayers live and breathe every day. And most importantly, we have an elementary school that's underperforming, which I believe is putting a burden on our economy. Research shows that. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying you hit a hot topic, warehouses. So that made me perk up when I was like, oh, so because in the neighboring cities, that's been a hot topic. It feels like now we're becoming to get a little bit boxed in. And so we do understand growth, but when you think about growth, smart growth, like what are your thoughts on smart growth and just this whole hot topic of warehouses?
Well, smart growth planning has to occur because we have an opportunity now to set the narrative straight. What you see right now in the overdevelopment, it lacks corporate social responsibility planning. And that's, to me, a gap in leadership because it's one thing to allow warehousing to come in, because I want to make it clear, warehousing is not the enemy to Fairburn. It is a lapse, or for lack of better words, what I want to say, it is a gap in leadership and leadership capacity that we first have to understand that when we bring in these types of businesses, we have to create systems, policies, and protocols by which we hold them accountable. And that's what my leadership, along with the voices of taxpayers in this city, is going to bring into the mayor's seat.
Okay, let's talk about your qualifications. What makes you qualified to run for this position of mayor?
Well, I want to say the qualifications to actually run is that you be 18 years old, live in Fairburn 1 year, and a registered voter. But the skills and experience that I bring is wrapped in 20 years of public service experience. See, my background is mental health social work, and I've worked in that capacity for 15 plus years. I'm an educator now, so I understand the low capacity of school performance on a community. And most importantly, my leadership in child welfare, which I worked for a Georgia agency here for many years. I learned so much about our systems and people from the micro to the macro, that when we as leaders fail to understand that our capacity has to begin and end with people, then we miss the mark. See, one set of ideas is not going to bring about the change. So I am really centered on collective power, because that's where the real change comes. I've been doing it for 20 years now. So this is just an extension of my service to the city of Fairburn.
Okay. So as you know, we've been in this pandemic, it's going on 2 years now. So are there any legislative priorities or issues that you would push or support?
Absolutely. The legislative priorities that I must support is putting our policies in place that make sure that we are managing infrastructure appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
Infrastructure shouldn't just be looked at as just a building or road, because it takes people to get the work done. Infrastructure, what I see now in the city of Fairburn, and from knocking on these doors, we really have to roll our sleeves back and get to work with people. So one of the legislative policies that's important, because it is impacting the quality of life, we have to move to put corporate social responsibility policies in place here in Fairburn. We have to. Because of that, it looks like a free-for-all. Our city looks like it's unmanaged, and it looks like it's unkept. So it's important that we move to make sure that we have that structure in place. Another key is neighborhood planning units, because that is that transparency in government. Look, I've been studying neighborhood planning units now for 2 years, and I see how effective that they become in our neighboring city, Atlanta. What it does is it puts the taxpayer right at the table with those developers about key issues related to planning and zoning. Transparency in government is key, because now we have residents in their own prospective neighborhoods elected in those roles for the sole reason of making sure that what they want to see in their neighborhoods occur. Here's an example. We have development right now that has been sketched out and planned for Bohemian Road. I talked to those residents over there, and one of the key issues that they said to me is, for over 15 years, we've been trying to get speed bumps and a turnstile, and trying to get our city to take notice of the traffic from the warehousing and the trash that's now blighting our community. Now, when I did my research and I look and see that we have massive plans of development for that community, you see no plans for the community to have a say. You don't see anywhere in those plans where community even came to the table. But listening to those residents say, all we asked for was a speed bump. All we needed was somebody to take notice of what's going on and how warehousing is impacting our community. That's why I'm running, because I believe wholeheartedly that taxpayers are important. Look, Fairburn has to be run for the people, by the people. We cannot be seen vulnerable, because look what's happening. Now, when warehousing begins to take its nest in and we don't set perimeters by which they are guided, then we have really set our city up for failure. And I'm making sure that I am going to create a system and policies that put taxpayers first.
So when you say create a system and policies, you mean like making sure that when things are coming into play or developers come, that there's a clause that they must meet with residents or something of that nature?
Right, that system, I'll be clear, that system is neighborhood planning units. See, mayor and council should be the last to make decisions when it comes to these neighborhoods. Fairburn is so diverse, and each neighborhood needs something different. One shoe size doesn't fit all. So we have to be really intentional about people and listening to what people needs are. In this pandemic, our city is very vulnerable. I see it firsthand. We have widened disparities in income. We have widened disparities, job loss, widened disparities right now in healthcare, and especially mental health. The moratorium on evictions ended this weekend. And I have not seen one plan in our city to help the people of Fairburn. When we have communities with homes that are 90% rental, that has a bearing on me. How can we not respond during this pandemic, bringing the resources to address the needs of our people?
So what can constituents in Fairburn look forward to from you that they're not receiving already?
They can look forward to a resourceful mayor, because in social services, I know you gotta go get the good stuff. That's what I call knowing how to network and bringing all of those collaborative partnerships together, talking to our community and having a consistent conversation outside of city council meetings, because we want to make sure that residents in their community feel that they are wanted, that they are important. And so those constant community organizing, those are some of the things that really gets the message out. Got to work on how we communicate in our community. We got to build our partnerships with our neighbors, with our states, our stakeholders. There's no evidence of that. It mostly looks like all decisions are coming from the governments. And that can't happen, because when you take away the power of the people, when you take away the voices of the people, you create and widen inequities. And that is what has happened in Fairburn.
And is there anything else you would just want residents to know about you, your platform, while you're running?
Yes, I want the residents and taxpayers in Fairburn to know that you have a leader that cares solely about you. This is the work that I've done for 20 years, and I'm continuing this work. I'm asking for your partnership, because it's going to take all of us together. One set of ideas alone will never bring about change. But when we build collective power, that's the real power that fuels change. So I'm asking for your support on November 2nd, that you will vote Samantha Hudson as your next mayor.
And if people want to know a little bit more about your campaign, get involved, how can they contact you?
VoteSamanthaHudson.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can also call our campaign hotline, which is area code 706-801-7235.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again for taking time out of your busy schedule, as I know this is campaign season and this is some prime time right now for campaigning. But thank you for taking the time to interview with the South Metro Democratic Women's Council. I think this interview is very vital for the people and allows the community to get to know you personally and be a little bit more enlightened about your platform. So best of luck on your campaign and well wishes. And for those of you who are watching, we will make sure these are posted to our YouTube pages and will be shared on our social media and our websites. Thank you so much again, Ms. Hudson.
Thank you.